take it to accept?
Yes.
Good. You need to leave them. That's important in my opinion.
New York.
Thank you, Agent. Congratulations, baby.
Congratulations to you too. No, it's good for you.
So you want to know how it works? How you do? And that's, you will no doubt have divined the 8010. There's a price.
828, 1960. 828, 1964. 828, 1960. 828, 1960. 828, 1960. Hey there, how you doing?
I told her I had to take care of a couple things before I went back.
Yeah, like stealing my car.
No, like, trying.
What are you on the right side of this?
I'm a quick study.
Give me this back to love.
Okay.
Oh, God, did not need that. Hey, please, that with that forgetting thing, please.
What are you doing here, boy?
Get used to seeing me, pretty boy. I'm your new babysitter.
Why do you want?
Babysitter.
Queen's orders. She says the chance of your sorry ass surviving without me, zero.
Okay, I did not say that. Exactly.
She said slim to zero. I rounded it down to zero, but I feel like it's zero.
Consider it a party gift.
Come on, I saved the world. You couldn't tell because you were getting choked on the floor.
And do I even have a choice?
No.
Yes, there we go. All right. Where's that little red button?
That was right here.
Whoa! Feel a little like you.
I love that option. Now, this is a very complicated piece of machinery. I guess be careful.
Yeah, got it. I'm gonna trust my
All right, good evening, humans. As I promised, what I want to do is, with the nighttime session, I want to answer questions, things that you may have, issues that you guys may be having. And so, as advertised, if you're new to the channel, please, by all means, hit the subscribe button. In addition to that, Red Pill Fab 2.0, Facts About Broads Fab. Link is below the video. I just posted a video. I'm posting a video now. Actions speak louder than words, but not to women. All right, so look below the video, check that link out, and get back to your boy. All right. What I'm gonna do here tonight, I won't be here long because it doesn't take long to explain, to talk about what I'm about to talk about. So I'm going to give you the aspect of things, and then I'm going to tell you how it helped other things. I'm going to give you the perspective of child support, bankruptcy, and then I'm going to merge it into how it helps when it comes to child support. A lot of people don't understand law. And because you don't understand law, you can be in trouble, and you'll look at your trouble at face value. I went to school and I understand law. And for what I understand about law, for every law, there's a law that counters it. This is how a lot of you guys say XYZ only got off because they were white. This is why a lot of y'all say my child's mom went to court and she lied on me and now I don't got custody of my kid. My child's mom went to court and she said that I make $1 billion a week and now my child support is $1,000 an hour. This is why you guys get your bunhole toyed with when you go to court. But this is what I'm here for. National Fathers League, League of Dads, Chris One Radio Group, The Hated One, Todd Smith Studios, Red Pill Fab, Anonymous Prime. I'm up in this bitch. Where did I leave off at? Oh, yeah, I said for every law, there's a law that counters that. I know that was probably the most interesting thing that I said, but you want me to elaborate, don't you? Okay, I will. People, let me paint this scenario out for you. I tell y'all I have a Tia Bradley trained. And I don't just say I have a Tia LaShawn Bradley trained. I tell y'all that I have a Tia LaShawn Bradley trained like a dog. Now, I've been saying this now for 5 years, and I'm still saying it 5 years later. So that meant I was saying it for 5 years. So I've been saying that 5 years ago, which means tonight, I'm not saying it for the first time. I need y'all to follow me. You know, that tastes great. Excuse me while I top off. What's going on, Deshaun, up in this? Once again, thank you for that $25 contribution via my Cash App. Now, what was I? Oh, yeah. I was saying that I had a Tia LaShawn Bradley trained like a dog. Now, my man said I'm listening while driving. I appreciate that. So now you all may say, how do you say you have your child's mom trained and then you pause like a dog? People, I'm very strategic. I am very strategic. Everything to me means something. Nothing is just done because. If I could get you guys to understand the game of chess is I'm okay at chess. I'm not good. I'm not great. An okay person will know every move 12 games ahead, 20 steps ahead of me. A great chess player will make one move and be like, just chill because you ain't got no moves. A great chess player look at the board, make one move and be like, I'll be back tomorrow. You won't be able to move. That's a great chess player. I'm here to tell you when it comes to thinking, I am a great chess player in the game of thinking, from the perspective of thinking. What's going on, Johnny? A lot of you guys, you go to court and you fight women because you allow women to be women. Now, when something is bad, it needs training. Good things don't need training. If your dog like to take a dump in the house, that's bad. Don't you train your dog not to go to the bathroom in the house? Of course you do that. What's going on, Brandon? Appreciate that. I like that, the intellectual assassin. I like that. Damn, I like that. I got to screenshot that shit. Hold on. So, where was I? I was telling you that when a dog goes to the bathroom in a house, you train your dog not to make brownies, drop booty nuggets in the house. You train your dog to not do that, right? Okay. So I'm training Atia LaShawn Bradley to watch your fucking mouth when we go to court is what I'm talking about here tonight, which is going to segue into how I want to talk about bankruptcy. But what first I'm telling y'all how every rule in court has another rule to counter it. When you can understand that when you go to court with a woman, she wants to be in her element. She wants to be in there, he, yelling, hoo-hawing, this and all that. And the courts allow women this platform. And I realized that when I was going to court, I realized all the courts was allowing LaShawn Bradley for that he platform. I went to school and learned law. Then I told the judge, what you want to do. I sent them a letter before I went to court. Everything that this woman say, what you need to do is ask her for proof. If not, I'm taking you down to the ethics committee because you don't have control over your courtroom. What Atia LaShawn Bradley didn't know is that I figured it out. I decoded the game. And she didn't know that every time we had to go to court, I was speaking to the courts before we got there. Y'all may recall me saying to Atia LaShawn Bradley, this is my arena now, before we went to court. When we left court, I texted her, I told you. What Atia LaShawn Bradley never knew what was in between, this is my arena, what happened, and I told you is, in between there is, I was telling them, no, if you don't, I have no problem with bringing you up on ethics committee charges because you don't need to be on the bench if you allow somebody to cack off in your courtroom. When this happened, Atia LaShawn Bradley was muzzled. I used to tell you guys all the time. When people listen to me today, they be like, yo, you mean. No, I'm not, compared to how I used to be. But I see now I got to bring those old ways back because the nice me, people got me fucked up. People got me fucked up, okay? So allow me. Before your woman go to court, you need to muzzle that bitch. Because when you go to court, that woman is going to be in her elements. Now, what Atia LaShawn Bradley didn't know is that I was countering her cacking. What she loved to do so much. Let me date stamp this. Today is the 23rd of March, 2021. I really don't want Atia LaShawn Bradley or any one of her constituents to hear me talking about her and say, girl, well, he probably said that so long ago. Let me date stamp this so she can think she got any recourse. I just want to do that. I mean, after all, women don't want to hear this part, but I was the discreet one, and Atia LaShawn Bradley, let me do my dance, wanted to bring our family issues outside in the open because the court of public opinion is where they think they best at, because after all, you're a black man. Oh, don't get me started. So I countered Atia LaShawn Bradley's gabbing with the law of hearsay and the law of lawsuit. You go to court. Your child's mom say he makes $1,000 a day. That's a lie. That's slander. You go to court, then you leave court and you go to another court because they want everything done in family court, and you go file a lawsuit for slander. And you say, I will drop this lawsuit if, in fact, you just show me anytime I was making $1,000 a day at any time. I will take that as proof and I will drop my lawsuit. But if not, I want $1,000. That's how you train them. See, the problem with a lot of you men is when a woman take you down for child support, your whole perspective is, let me just hurry up and get out of here. With me, no, I want to stay. I brought my backpack with me. Yeah, I got my sleeping bag with me. No, we ain't go home. No, we stay here. That's how I do it. No, we'll be taking our time. it's time for you to go through a child support contempt hearing. You need to find a way to counter that child support non-payment hearing. So let me tell y'all about bankruptcy. You may not have realized, but the last time you went to court, you were in the county court or some type of local jurisdiction, something, magistrate, whatever they're called, whatever they're calling themselves today. A janitor yesterday, a magistrate today. You not knowing that you can just tell them, no, I don't want to. I want to go see the judge. It is my right as a citizen of the United States to go stand before a judge. A lot of you guys also, you go to court, your woman don't show up. No, I got the right to face my accuser. You don't know how to incorporate none of these rules. I keep telling y'all, this is what we does over here. I need y'all to follow me. Bankruptcy is done in federal court. People, there's a reason why bankruptcy is only filed in federal court. It is the #1 court across the land. A family court judge do not have jurisdiction over any judge in federal court. Not one. I don't give a hell if he's the janitor judge. He don't. Federal court is the top law of the land. Okay? Matter of fact, when you go to family court, all your appeals are done by someone observing it on the federal level. What is bankruptcy? Bankruptcy is something that you can file for when you are in financial trouble. If you owe me 1,000 cans of beans, you can't file for bankruptcy. I'm not asking you for money. I'm asking you for beans. You may not realize this. I don't know if this, bashed you in the head with a brick, but you do know child support payments are made in money. Let me do the bobblehead. And as long as child support is asking for money, you may not believe this, it now falls under the scope of bankruptcy. A lot of individuals that I've helped, even though they had low arrears amounts, it was cataclysmic because they had warrants for their arrest or their license was suspended. So we'll get to that in a second. So if I tell you the things that bankruptcy cannot help you with, then it'll be easier. Bankruptcy cannot help you with 4 things. Alimony, child support, taxes, student loans. Now, when I say can't help you with, I don't mean can't help you at all. You cannot wipe them away. You can put this in the chapter 13, 10:3, 10:3, 13. What you cannot put those 4 things in is in a chapter 7. A chapter 7 is when you want to just wipe all your debt away. You don't want any more debt. You want a clean slate start. You cannot put child support, alimony, child support, alimony, taxes, student loans. It's a no-no. You got a car note, you can put it in chapter 7, get rid of it. You got a mortgage, you don't want no more, you could put it in chapter 7 and then get rid of it. But if you have those 4 things, you can fall under bankruptcy protection, but under a chapter 13. Businesses file for chapter 11. As an individual, the max you can file for bankruptcy is, I believe, $325,000. Don't quote me on that. It's somewhere around there. But businesses, it's millions. This is like when General Motors filed for bankruptcy and they was in trouble with their vendors. They were in trouble by the millions. Chapter 11 deals in millions. 7 and 13 only deal with 100,000, 300,000, the individual. That's it. So how does bankruptcy help if you got one of those? I said child support, right? All right, now I'm gonna break it down to you. That stuff jumped off that ice and jumped straight down my windpipe hole. Okay. So check this out. Put that over there. I got $30,000 in child support arrears. Atia Bradley is happy. Atia Bradley is like, yeah, we gonna grease his bun hole now. Get him. He's a black man. Get him. I can't get him nothing else. Yeah, I used to beat on him. Yeah, he was great to me, but all that don't mean nothing. He ain't paying his child support. Get him. I would file an evasive maneuver. I would take my child support arrearages, and instead of filing them in family court, I just told y'all, I file them in federal court. What happens when you file your arrearages in federal court is family court just lost out on jurisdiction. They have no more jurisdiction. You see this on movies when they say the feds are now taking over. It's out of our hands. You've seen this in movies like The Fugitive. When Tommy Lee came on the scene and the U.S. Marshals came over here, he said, "No shit, Sheriff. So I guess I'm gonna have to take over your investigation." Remember in the first Fugitive when he was, when he arrived on the scene, and the guy said, "I will be with you in 1 second." Tommy Lee Jones was like, "Okay," and then. And then Tommy Lee Jones was like, "Okay." Then he was like, "I want a 5-thing perimeter." Then Tommy Lee was like, 25. He's like, "No." Well, okay, then I guess I'm going to have to take over. He outranked them. You also seen this in Die Hard when he said, I'm Agent Johnson. He's Agent Johnson. No relation. When the feds step on the scene, I'm sure this isn't a hard sell. When the feds step on the scene, local cops don't have jurisdiction. It's the same thing when you have child support arrears. You take your arrearages and you take them out of the jurisdiction of family court and you put them inside federal court. Once this happens, all those little goody trinkets that they like to do, put a warrant out for your arrest, suspend your license, it's out. It's over. Now, I'm doing this tonight because I have an individual that had an individual with his passport. So we're going to talk about when you have arrearages and you have your passport. You have a hard time getting your passport once your child support arrearages exceed $2,501. Once your child support arrearages exceed $2,501, you cannot get your passport. You owe a debt. You may not come back once you leave. Now, what's the difference from a passport and a warrant or putting or suspending your license? A warrant and your license are them acting as a collection agency and they're disrupting your life. A passport is simply saying you just can't travel. We ain't going to come and arrest you. We ain't going to put a warrant out for your arrest. We ain't going to suspend your license. You can go on and drive, go on, finish doing Uber and Lyft, but you can't get a passport. So I have an individual that, the reason for that is, once again, when somebody put a warrant out for your arrest and suspend your license, they're punishing you. You may think that not getting a passport is punishing you, but no, actually it's not. What punishment is, I think anybody would take not being able to get their passport as opposed to driving a car and every time a cop drive up behind them, they lock their asshole. They don't want to do that. Appreciate those thumbs up, y'all. I got individuals here. You're new to the channel, please, by all means, hit that subscribe button and check me out also on Red Pill Fab, the Reboot 2.0. Link is below the video. Subscribe and bring us back. So, for those that have warrants, or those that have arrearages and got warrants and they're suspending your license, when I was doing it, when I had my company, and I'm gonna tell you right now, an attorney gonna tell you can't do it. And the reason why an attorney is gonna tell you can't do it is because an attorney don't want you to go into the court with the upper hand. As a matter of fact, I must have helped about 150 people who attorney came to them and tried to get them to sign an affidavit saying that they would not put their child support arrearages inside of a bankruptcy. So if you ever get yourself in a situation, if you don't want to use my services, cool. I'm just here to educate you. I charge $495 for this service. Here's what I'm saying. If you don't want to go to me, don't go to a family court attorney. Go to an attorney that just do bankruptcies. Because an attorney that just do bankruptcies don't go to family court. He or she don't deal with nothing involved in family court, so they don't care about stepping on their toes. When I first did my bankruptcy, I did my bankruptcy with an attorney that just did bankruptcies. When I called when I was living in Pennsylvania and I was calling around for help for arrearages, I said I was calling family court attorneys. And a family court attorney, all 6 of the attorneys that I called, all of them was like, you can't do it. You better take some money to court. You better take some money to court with you. I said, I'm on the phone arguing with them, but you can do it. No, you can't. No, you can't. That's when I started that's when I ended up doing it myself. And that's how I started Legal. That's how I started doing it myself. I only did it myself because I went to attorneys and they said you couldn't do it. You can do it. As a matter of fact, you can look at your Schedule D. Schedule D has child support arrears. If it's not, if you can't put it in your bankruptcy, how come there's a place in bankruptcy to put it? So it's in there, right there in your Schedule D. And as a matter of fact, if you got a child support hearing for contempt due to non-payment, all you got to do is fill out the petition, fill out the Schedule D, get the matrix, 5, 6, 7 pieces of paper, file it. You gone, you good. Why you good? Get yourself out of that jurisdiction. The key, here's the ultimate key. Here's the key to tell child support, take 2 of these. People, for every law, I'm going to go back to that. There's a law that counters it. Jurisdiction is the ultimate you can't touch me rule when it comes to child support. What I tell individuals today on the 23rd of March, 2021, is the one thing that I will tell you for the rest of your life. Never, ever have your address in the state you live in. Never have your address. What's the simplest way to say this? It's a tongue twister. Get your address out of the state that has your child support. Johnny says, so I can't get my passport. You got to bring it down below $2,500. I don't know how much your arrears is. Don't tell me. Text it to me if you want to still talk about it. But the thing is, here's the deal. Here's what I'm getting at. And I'm going to say this, Johnny, and I know it's not what you want to hear, but here's what I'm telling you. individuals will ask me a bunch of variables. I need a job. I just got a job. The biggest individuals that I've helped in my life when I filed the bankruptcy form, CDL license. Think about this. You got a job using your CDL. That's how you make your bread and butter. And your child's mom is adamant about putting foots to your bun hole, and you know they just coming after you. You know, being cold. People back in the 90s, the child support office consisted of men and women. Now it's consisted of all women. I'm not surprised. It consists of all women. If you call down there, you're going to speak to a woman. Everything is a woman. Everything is a woman. That's not by accident. You know, when they want enforcement, they're going to get the enemy, and it's going to be under the covenants of, nope, they're doing this for the state. It's got nothing to do with you. Yes, it does. It's got everything. Understand that. So, get yourself, change your address. Get your address. Don't live in the same county that your child support case is in. I don't care if you live there. Don't have the address. If you live in Wyoming, have your license in Portland, in Oregon, excuse me. Don't have your license in the same state as your child support. Don't. I have told individuals about this for years, and only the few, the idiots, I got to do all that. Yeah. People, the worst, the one position you don't want to be in is somebody put your information inside of a computer and hit enter and destroy your life. And that happens when you make it easy for them. That's what happens when you make it easy for them. So understand that. Put yourself in a situation where you're not within arm's reach of that municipality. You'll be better off. A lot of you are under the impression that child support warrants can jump. Johnny says, my baby mama live in North Carolina. I live in South Carolina. If you're just long as you don't get your child support transferred to South Carolina, your license, and as far as putting a warrant out for you, you'll be okay. I would even tell individuals, that's too close. I'll call, listen, I'm going to tell y'all what I did. I called Mailbox Etc. in Toronto. I set up an address, Mailbox Etc. I got a P.O. box in Toronto. Yeah, Canada, that Toronto. And I told my child support, that's my address. They was like, you don't have a stateside address? I never even answered them. None of your damn business. It's none of your business. You say I got to give you an address? There you have it. Robert says, that's a good question. Robert said, how do I hide my brand new business from child support? You ain't got to hide it. Fuck you got to hide it for? I don't hide listen, I got 5-6 businesses. I don't hide nothing. I don't hide nothing. Listen, let me tell you how cocky the kid is. I'm Todd's son. I was paying child support $259 a month and hired a Tia Bradley's cousin to come work with me. That's how cocky I am. Cocky. You ain't got to hop. RJ, I got lightheaded on this. Robert, you don't have to hide your business. You know why? Because your business ain't paying child support. That is the biggest misconception that a lot of you think. You got to hide your business. Listen, you don't have to hide your business. If you got an 18-wheeler, put Robert Jones Trucking on the side of that and drive it down to child support. Put on the trailer, Robert Jones Trucking. We do 1 million miles, which turns into $1 million a month. And then pay yourself $10. And then pay yourself $10. Because once Robert Jones Trucking pay you, it is the money that you pay yourself is what child support can come after. You ain't got to hide your business, man. Don't ever think. Shame on you. You ain't got to hide your business. Mm-mm. That is the saddest, goofiest misconception that Teal or Sean. I'm waiting for somebody to find that woman and confirm all this stuff that I'm saying to y'all. You know, well, there's got to be a woman out there to be like, I'm going to find her because I don't believe you. I'm saying it tonight. Shit. This ain't a private chat. Shoot. This ain't private. Let's be clear. Everybody's seeing this. Attila Sean Bradley took my company papers down to child support. I was like, boy, Mary Bradley sure did raise a idiot. Boy, that's Attila Bradley's mom. I throw her in the mix too. Mary Bradley, you raised an idiot. Oh gosh. Oh boy, I tell you. That Mary Bradley, boy. Boy, I tell you. Boy, hey, listen, Mary Bradley got 3 kids by 3 different men. Boy, she was processing dick. She was processing dick like debit cards at a fair. Oh, she put me on in North Carolina, but them boys be at me. You know why they be at you? You down there in North Carolina, and in North Carolina is called a neighbor state. I don't know if you knew this. This is breaking news. You live in South Carolina. In North Carolina, North Carolina is called a neighbor state. And there are special laws that North Carolina have that South Carolina, where you at, and Virginia, where I'm at, they buddy up. It's called neighbor state laws. That's why you have it held in South Carolina and you live in the cases in North Carolina. What you got to do is shift one state down. You gotta switch your stuff to Georgia. Go one state down. That'll get them off you. That'll get them off you. That'll get them off you. What you don't want to do, appreciate those thumbs up, y'all. Come on, man. Stop going with me. Stop being up going with me here. What you want to do is you want to always make sure. Let me say this. It's the reason why roaches run when you turn the light on. It's the reason why they run when you turn the light on. Roaches run when you turn the light on because their safety is compromised. A rabbit will not put his nest upwind. A rabbit will put their nest downwind. At the bottom, they won't do that. It's certain ways you do things. They also, snakes will put their little snakelets, I don't know what they're called, in little caves. Birds won't build a nest in the bushes. They'll build it in the tree. These are all things to ensure the continuity of survival. You see this when you see like Jason Bourne and he had 50 passports and money stacked and he's got this little thing he carrying in his backpack and he's just walking at it and like, sir, excuse me. He's just walking and he ain't paying attention to nothing. He's dialed in. I used to live in Pennsylvania. The child support game up there, if you Google the scandal of Luzerne County, I got caught in that, both with my house and in child support. And it was the court systems were just locking us up, locking us up, locking us up, locking us up, and just locking us up. You know, I went to court. I went for non-payment July 3rd. I'll be back on July 19th. This is why, you know, I don't let nobody make a mockery of when I talk about the crap that I've been through with women, especially with Atia Bradley, which ultimately make me talk about what I talk about today. You will never, unless you went through it, you'll never understand how it feels to be hunted. Just in your house and watching your door fly off the hinges, jumping out your window, running in the woods. It's wintertime. You never got a chance to put a coat on, so you freezing. Or I pull up to my thing in my driveway and they start chasing me. And then while I'm out in the woods, I got to dump my coat because the coat is what they noticed. I mean, I went through a lot and I survived. I survived. And when I moved here to Virginia, I was telling my lady about it. When I moved here to Virginia, because I used to be paranoid when I used to live up north. Couple of things, more so than anything. When you got a woman like Atia LaShawn Bradley, which is where every woman could be, a woman is adamant about destroying you. When you have houses that I have, when you make the money that I have, and everything that she tried to do the right way in court, she failed. You have to be smart enough to know what move that woman is going to make on the chessboard next. Appreciate those thumbs up. And that next move, he touched me. He threatened me. He called me and said he was going to kill me. Now it's terroristic threat. Now it ain't going in there being cocky. It's now going in there being at their mercy. I talk about this over on Red Pill Fab. If you're not subscribed to me on Red Pill Fab, the link is below the video. Hey, y'all know there's going to be more to come. I'll check you guys in the morning at 11. You guys have a good night. Later, y'all.